Just after 10 o'clock here, Eastern Time. Michael Moss here on the April Fool's Day 2015, April 1st, 2015. And we've had some weather, as we talked about last night, happening in Nebraska. We have Goodnight Chase Team chasers Jonah and Maggie that are out there checking out the weather and getting some footage as well. This picture was taken by Maggie Common earlier, not far from Hastings, Nebraska. Actually see a very nice storm cluster there, maybe a bit of a supercell structure potentially there. Actually got one right here. Here's the updraft of the storm right here. Nice big large expansive anvil. Probably part of a linear segment, and then you have another anvil right here from another storm right here. Storms are still ongoing out there at this hour. Matter of fact, here's the radar, the latest radar from the, this is from Sioux Falls, South Dakota area, and off down to the southwest here is where Jonah Alber is located at. Maggie's up here more toward Hastings, and getting a fresh image now. And check this out too. We've actually got a couple interesting features here. Now, some of these storms do have warning. Whoa, not that radar. Some of these do have warnings on them periodically, mainly linear type storms. But looky here. We've got a boundary right here, nice little outflow boundary that's come out from this line of storms here. And if you watch down here, you'll see another little boundary come up from here. We commonly see that during the evening hours, come in from the southeast. A lot of times as the boundary layer kind of goes from the surface, kind of decouples, goes up into the atmosphere. But as that expansion happens, we get a bit of a low-level jet that develops, and that little boundary you see right there has actually crossed the outflow boundary, and it's helping to kind of keep these storms going, and maybe even intensify them slightly. Like I said, there are some warnings on these storms, mainly for hail and damaging winds right now. Not really much of a tornado threat tonight. But that's that. Here's a wider view here for you. And here's the storms that we just looked at right there. There's the outflow boundary. There you can kind of see that other one right there. Right about there. Move on up, and it's actually leading to this line of thunderstorms. You can see a little bit of a bow structure here, maybe trying to get going here across southern Nebraska. Some other cells are trying to form atop the cold air left over by these storms, the cold pool. And you can see the upper low out turning out here. We had some storms down in Oklahoma, and we also had a cluster down here in Arkansas, and we got a cluster out here in southern Missouri. That's moved on to the east and left this little cluster right here. Notice how it's twirling. It's actually got a little bit of a turn to it. We kind of call these mesoscale convective vortices in weather, and they can be catalysts for thunderstorms later, depending on conditions. We go ahead and refresh this real quick. Kind of get the latest image here. Let's put the warnings up. See, no severe warnings in Oklahoma. A few counties here along the strongest edge of these storms in Nebraska for severe thunderstorm warnings. Of course, that yellow box is a severe thunderstorm watch. So we had some warnings down here earlier as this cluster was down here. None now, but got a couple of severe thunderstorm warning counties down here toward the Little Rock area, mainly for hail. And I want to show you here. Here's the latest high-resolution rapid refresh. We're going to take a look at these storms. You can see the storms that's showing developed right there. This is slightly old, but not by too much. We want to run it forward here and see how it developed the storms that we have now, and more storms will continue to develop overnight along the cold front. There's that little MCV area that we were talking about earlier. The high-resolution models captured. There's the storm clusters over portions of Arkansas. Now this did happen a little bit earlier than what the time frame here shown on the HRRR, but it did develop them, and as you can see, we continue to go through time. Here comes this cluster here. Here even comes this cluster down here. That will continue moving on to the north, and you can see showers and storms forming throughout the night, and coming and going throughout the nighttime into Kansas and Iowa, and we'll keep pushing those forward. And we'll actually, if you watch over here toward Indy, you'll actually see some development, overnight development potential as well. And by morning, we could see some showers and even some thunderstorms around Indy before later in the day, when this cluster out here, this cluster of storms or whatever boundaries it leaves behind, will actually be making it. Now this is somewhere late morning. I can see storms, a couple bands over here in Missouri and Illinois, and we still have a slight risk of even severe weather tomorrow, mainly for hail and damaging winds once again, mainly from Indianapolis basically down to this area right here. And we'll see how this affects the cloud cover during the day, how much sunshine we get, how much redevelopment happens, see if there's any additional boundaries that pop up. But there is a chance of storms tomorrow, and a few of them with the wind fields we have in place that could even be severe. So we will keep you apprised of that. Of course, stay tuned to @GoodnightChase on Twitter, and also the Goodnight Chase team page group on Facebook, and we'll to be watching for footage or pictures or anything like that if we see anything around here tomorrow. And I guess we got a couple in Nebraska tonight, watching the storms there, and keep tuned to those two sites for updates on this evolving situation tomorrow. So Michael Moss signing off for now. Talk to you soon.